Hi guys! Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the issue that has taken an emotionally intense turn for some of the most central characters in Port Charles. The story centers on Willow Tate, Michael Corinthos, and the fallout from Willow's failed engagement to Drew Kane, but what unfolds next is far more than a broken wedding. This is a story about secrets, betrayal, parenthood, and the devastating consequences of past choices finally coming to light. For months, Willow had been trying to convince herself that her relationship with Drew could lead to happiness. After her painful split from Michael, she sought stability, comfort, and a clean break from the complicated tangle of the Corinthos family legacy. She believed Drew was safe-grounded, mature, and trustworthy. She ignored the doubts that others voiced. She ignored the whispers that Drew hadn't been the same since his release from Pentonville. She ignored the signs. But when Willow discovered that Drew had once slept with Nina, her world collapsed again. Nina, her biological mother. Nina, the source of so much pain. Nina, the woman who had manipulated her way into Willow's life more than once and caused irreparable damage. The thought that Drew, of all people, had been intimate with her was too much for Willow to accept. The betrayal felt layered and cruel. Drew hadn't just lied. He had slept with the one person who symbolized every betrayal and emotional scar Willow had endured since discovering the truth about her parentage. She had trusted Drew completely. And now that trust was gone. Faced with this devastating truth, Willow made a choice. She canceled the wedding. Guests had already arrived. The ceremony was prepared. But Willow stood before them all and made it clear. There would be no vows, no promises, no future with a man she now viewed as disloyal and hypocritical. Drew tried to defend himself, but Willow didn't want to hear excuses. She walked away. But the wedding wasn't the only thing Willow was walking away from. As the hours passed and the shock wore off, she realized she had reached a breaking point not just with Drew, but with everything in Port Charles. The pain, the regret, the fallout from her decisions that had all caught up to her. She wanted to leave. For good. Willow made the decision to move overseas and start a new life. A fresh beginning. Far away from the wreckage of her past. But there was one complication. Her children Wiley and Amelia. Wiley was Michael's biological son. Their connection had never been in question. But Amelia carried a secret Willow had kept buried for too long. A secret that, if revealed, would forever change her relationship with Michael and her ability to take Amelia with her. Willow couldn't leave without confronting the truth. She reached out to Michael and asked to meet him privately at the riverbank. A quiet place away from prying eyes. A place where the truth could finally be spoken without interference. Michael agreed, unaware that he was about to receive news that would shake him to his core. When they met, Willow handed him a manila envelope. Inside were DNA test results. Michael opened it slowly, confused, cautious. Then his eyes froze. The document confirmed the unthinkable. Amelia was not his biological daughter. The silence was deafening. Michael stared at Willow in disbelief, his mouth dry, the weight of the revelation crashing down on him. When he finally found his voice, he asked one question: who? But Willow didn't answer. Instead, she admitted the truth. She had been unfaithful during their marriage. It wasn't a one-night mistake. It had happened while they were still living as husband and wife. And that betrayal resulted in a pregnancy. Amelia was not his child biologically. Michael's entire world spun. The woman he had once loved as the mother of his children had not only cheated on him, but kept it secret for years. She had allowed him to believe that Amelia was his, to build a bond with the child, to raise her as his own. And now, in one conversation, that foundation was destroyed. Still trying to process the depth of betrayal, Michael asked again, louder this time, who is the father? Willow's eyes dropped. She refused to answer. She said the name didn't matter. She said she wasn't trying to protect the man, but she didn't want to reopen more wounds. She insisted that all she wanted was to take Amelia with her when she left for Europe. But Michael was done listening. He exploded with rage. To him, Willow had not only betrayed him as a partner, she had betrayed him as a father. She had allowed him to pour his love into a child that wasn't his. And now, after all that, she wanted to take that child away from him. Michael refused. He told Willow that Amelia may not be his by blood, but she was his in every way that mattered. He had been there since her birth. He had fed her, protected her, loved her. She was his daughter. And he was not going to let her be taken away by a woman he now viewed as unstable and selfish. In one of the most cutting moments of the conversation, Michael looked at Willow and said, "You're not a mother. You're a runaway. And I'm not letting a runaway take my daughter with her." Willow, broken and humiliated, tried to defend herself. She said she was doing what she thought was right. She said she didn't want to rip Amelia from the only father she knew, but she needed to move on from the pain, from the lies, from the entire history of what Port Charles had become. Michael stood firm. He told Willow that she could leave if she wanted to. That was her choice. But Amelia was staying. And then he walked away. The aftermath of this revelation is already sending shockwaves through the town. Those who supported Willow through her recent cancer battle, through her grief and her losses, are now struggling to reconcile the woman they knew with the woman who kept such a devastating secret. Carly, already furious with Willow for her betrayal of Michael and the damage it caused their family, is now even more enraged. To Carly, this isn't just about Michael, it's about Wiley and Amelia, and the chaos now inflicted on their young lives. Brooklyn, Sasha, and others in Willow's circle are grappling with disbelief. They supported her wedding. They believed in her redemption. And now they're left wondering if she's spiraling or if this is who she was all along. Diane, Michael's legal counsel, has already begun preparing to file formal custody papers. The DNA results will be submitted to the court, and despite Amelia not being biologically related, Michael intends to fight for full custody based on his standing as her psychological and custodial parent. Willow, meanwhile, is at a crossroads. She doesn't have the support she once had. Her actions, while rooted in her own pain, have left her isolated, ashamed, and powerless. Her plans to leave for Europe are now complicated by legal threats, social rejection, and the deep grief of knowing she destroyed the life she once tried to protect. For the audience, this storyline marks a major turning point in Willow's character arc. Once viewed as one of the show's moral on-course symbol of resilience and healing, she's now a deeply flawed woman forced to reckon with the consequences of her silence, her choices, and her betrayal. Next, we will dive deep into the heated debate surrounding who truly deserves full custody of Donna and Avery in the chaotic world of Port Charles. In the bustling, drama-filled streets of Port Charles, where alliances shift like the tides and secrets simmer beneath every conversation, one truth stands out: danger lurks around every corner. And sometimes it's hiding right within your own bloodline. Fans of ABC General Hospital have long watched as characters navigate a minefield of betrayals, vendettas, and moral dilemmas. But nothing stirs up more passion than the ongoing custody battles that tear families apart. At the heart of the latest controversy is the question of whether Sonny Corinthos, the notorious mob boss with a rap sheet longer than the docks he controls, should retain any parental rights over his young daughters, Donna and Avery. Many viewers are vocally advocating for Ava Jerome and Carly Spencer to take full custody, arguing that Sonny's lifestyle poses an unacceptable risk. After all, this is a man whose days are more often spent dodging arrests by the Port Charles Police Department (PCPD) than attending school plays or bedtime stories. Imagine the irony: a father figure whose family time frequently involves high-stakes confrontations, leaving his children vulnerable to the fallout of his endless feuds. To add a fresh layer to this discussion, some fans speculate that if custody were fully awarded to Ava and Carly, it could pave the way for a groundbreaking alliance between the two women, potentially reshaping power dynamics in Port Charles and even influencing upcoming storylines involving the Jerome and Spencer families. Delving deeper into Sonny's turbulent history, it's impossible to ignore the litany of incidents that paint him as an unfit guardian. Remember the shocking moment when Sonny, in a fit of rage, fired shots at an FBI agent, escalating tensions that rippled through the entire town. That act alone could have ended in tragedy for anyone nearby, including his own kin. Then there's the harrowing fire that scorched Michael Corinthos, a blaze deliberately set as a trap for Sonny himself, revealing that his enemies don't hesitate to target those closest to him. The explosion at Charlie's pub, another casualty of Sonny's underworld dealings, left innocents reeling and highlighted how his choices endanger public spaces where his children might one day wander. And let's not forget the brutal kidnapping and assault on Marco, a grim episode that showcased Sonny's willingness to resort to violence without a second thought. Despite this pattern of chaos, the courts inexplicably granted him 50-50 custody, a decision that has left fans scratching their heads and demanding justice. Inventing a new angle here, what if the show introduced a fictional child services investigator from outside Port Charles, someone unbiased by local corruption, who uncovers hidden evidence of Sonny's misdeeds? This could lead to dramatic courtroom scenes, complete with surprise witnesses and emotional testimonies from past victims, adding layers of suspense to the narrative and forcing characters like Nina Reeves to choose sides in unexpected ways. The fan base of ABC General Hospital has erupted with opinions on this custody conundrum, flooding social media and forums with passionate takes that dissect Sonny's parenting failures. One particularly poignant comment echoes the sentiment that Christina's troubled path, marked by impulsive decisions and emotional turmoil, stems directly from growing up under Sonny's shadow. A cautionary tale for what might await Avery and Donna. Look at how Michael, Morgan, and Christina fared with Sonny as their dad, the fan wrote, pointing to Michael's brushes with death, Morgan's tragic end, and Christina's ongoing struggles as evidence of a toxic legacy. Expanding on this, we can imagine a storyline where Avery and Donna, as they grow older, begin exhibiting signs of inherited trauma, perhaps through invented flashbacks showing Sonny's absences during key childhood moments, like missed birthdays overshadowed by mob wars. Another viewer humorously critiqued Carly's erratic behavior, noting, "Carly can be spot on 1 minute, fighting tooth and nail for her kids, but the next, she's making choices that leave you wondering whose side she's really on." This duality adds intrigue, as Carly's history of fierce protectiveness clashes with her occasional lapses in judgment, such as her complicated entanglements with Sonny that blur the lines between love and enabling. To invent a new element, picture a fan-favorite subplot where Carly teams up with an unlikely ally, like Elizabeth Weber, to gather proof of Sonny's unfitness, blending medical insights from the hospital with personal vendettas for a multifaceted custody fight. Shifting the spotlight to Ava Jerome, the debate intensifies with reminders of how Avery's very existence once saved her mother's life. Sonny had been poised to eliminate Ava in a moment of cold-blooded fury, only to pull back upon learning of their shared child. This twist underscores Sonny's history of lethal impulses, with fans lamenting his trail of murders that have claimed lives from rival mobsters to innocent bystanders. One commenter expressed a wistful "what if," wishing Avery had been revealed as Morgan's daughter instead, which could have altered the entire family tree and spared everyone years of heartache. Inventing further details, envision alternate universe episode where the writers explore this retcon, Morgan alive and raising Avery in a quieter life away from Port Charles, contrasting sharply with the current high-drama reality and giving viewers a taste of roads not taken. Yet, not all fans are Team Ava. Critics rightly point out her own dark past, from the calculated killing of Kate Howard to the repeated emotional wounds inflicted on her daughter Kiki, whose death was indirectly tied to Ava's vengeful actions against a serial killer. By painting a target on Kiki's back through reckless taunts, Ava's choices mirrored Sonny's in their destructiveness. Adding a detailed analysis to this section, we see how Ava's manipulation of Morgan's medications contributed to his demise, and her interference with Sonny's own meds not only prolonged his instability, but endangered Avery, who was under his roof at the time. This hypocrisy fuels arguments that neither parent is ideal, perhaps suggesting a radical plot twist where a neutral third party, like a reformed villain from the show's history such as Julian Jerome's long-lost relative, steps in as a guardian, introducing fresh conflicts and alliances. As the custody saga unfolds, the counterarguments against Ava gain traction, highlighting her as equally unfit. Fans recall how she tampered with Sonny's bipolar medication, knowing full well it could spiral into violence that might harm Avery directly, a selfish act that prioritized her schemes over child safety. This pattern of endangerment, from putting Kiki in harm's way to her role in broader Port Charles upheavals, raises serious questions about her maternal instincts. To creatively expand, let's invent a hypothetical therapy session scene where Ava confronts her past sins, perhaps with guidance from Kevin Collins, revealing buried guilt that could humanize her character and sway public opinion in the custody battle. Meanwhile, Sonny's defenders, though few, argue that his protective instincts, however flawed, have kept his family intact amid constant threats, but the overwhelming consensus leans toward reform. In a new detail, imagine fan petitions circulating online calling for the showrunners to incorporate real-world child welfare experts into the storyline for authenticity, blending fiction with educational commentary on custody issues. Looking ahead, the future of Donna and Avery's custody remains shrouded in mystery, with ABC General Hospital poised to deliver more twists that could upend everything. Will Eva and Carly form an unbreakable front against Sonny, or will his charisma and connections tip the scales once more? Perhaps an unforeseen event, like a new threat from an old enemy such as Cyrus Renault, forces Sonny to prove his worth as a father in a high-stakes rescue. Fans are buzzing with theories, from secret DNA reveals to international custody disputes if characters flee Port Charles. Next, we will explore the heartwarming real-life update from GH star Steve Burton and how it echoes some furry fun on the show itself. In the ever-evolving world of soap opera stars, where personal milestones often mirror the dramatic twists of their on-screen lives, ABC General Hospital's Steve Burton has just shared a delightful family expansion that's capturing hearts everywhere. Fresh off his wedding vows to chef Michelle Lundstrom on May 17, 2025, following a whirlwind year of romance, the couple is now embracing the joys of a blended household that's grown even more vibrant. Lundstrom brings her two lively daughters into the mix, while Burton contributes his own son and two daughters, creating a bustling home filled with laughter, shared meals, and now, the pitter-patter of tiny paws. To creatively expand on this union, imagine the couple hosting a casual backyard barbecue to celebrate their nuptials, where the kids from both sides bonded over games and stories, setting the stage for this latest edition that promises to unite them further. Adding a new invented element, sources close to the family whisper that Burton and Lundstrom have been planning family adventures, like weekend hikes in the California hills, to strengthen their bonds, making their story a real-life inspiration for GH fans who adore tales of redemption and new beginnings. The excitement peaked when Burton and Lundstrom took to Instagram to unveil their newest family member, an adorable 8-week-old toy Australian Shepherd puppy named Wyatt. In a joint post that radiated pure joy, they captioned, "Welcome home, Wyatt Burton. Meet the sweetest addition to our family. He's super new, only 8 weeks old. Seriously, the cuttest little fluffy guy. We all love him." The accompanying reel showcased tender moments, from Lundstrom carefully carrying the fluffy bundle into their home to the kids' wide-eyed introductions, culminating in a touching photo of Burton cradling the pup with a beaming smile. This furry arrival isn't just a pet, it's a symbol of their fresh start, bringing playful energy to their daily routines. Inventing a fresh detail to enrich this narrative, picture Wyatt's first night involving a custom puppy bed handcrafted by Lundstrom's daughters, complete with personalized toys that reflect each family member's personality. From a mini chef's hat nod to Michelle's culinary career or a tiny GH-inspired prop for Burton. Delving deeper into the charm, Wyatt's breed is known for its intelligence and loyalty, traits that could mirror Burton's iconic role as Jason Morgan, the steadfast protector in Port Charles, adding a meta layer for fans who see parallels between real and real life. The response from fans and celebrities alike has been overwhelmingly positive, turning the Instagram post into a virtual love fest. Comments poured in with messages like "Wyatt is stealing the show, congrats on your growing pack," and heart emojis galore. while GH co-stars Bradford Anderson and Maura West showed their support by liking the reel, perhaps hinting at future off-screen playdates. This outpouring reflects the tight-knit community surrounding General Hospital, where personal joys are celebrated as extensions of the show's family-oriented ethos. To add a creative twist, envision a fan-led online contest where followers submit name ideas for Wyatt's future siblings should the family expand their pet crew, fostering engagement and turning the announcement into an interactive event. Expanding on the blended family dynamic, Burton has previously spoken in interviews about the challenges and rewards of step-parenting, drawing from his own experiences to infuse authenticity into Jason's complex relationships on GH, which often involve guardianship and loyalty amid chaos. Tying this real-life puppy tale to the soap's storyline, it's intriguing how GH recently introduced its own canine character, a charming beagle named Outback, who's found a temporary haven in Anna Devane's apartment. The pup was compassionately taken in by young Emma Drake and Gio Palmieri, offering a dose of cuteness amid the show's high-stakes drama. However, with the shadowy Professor Dalton lurking in the background known for his unethical experiments on animals, future for Outback could veer into perilous territory, potentially endangering her new adoptive family and sparking intense plot developments. Inventing a new element here. What if the writers weave in a subplot where Outback uncovers hidden clues about Dalton's schemes through her keen senses, turning the dog into an unlikely hero that aids Anna in a takedown, blending animal intuition with espionage flair? This addition not only heightens suspense, but also educates viewers on animal welfare themes, much like how real-life adoptions like Burton's promote responsible pet ownership. Meanwhile, on the GH front, Burton's character Jason Morgan is diving headfirst into a mystery that's got fans on the edge of their seats. After catching a glimpse of a woman bearing an uncanny resemblance to the presumed deceased Britt Westfern, Jason's investigative instincts kick into overdrive. This week, he'll confront Liesl Obrecht for answers, probing whether Britt's death was a ruse and if a romantic reunion could be on the horizon. The chemistry between Jason and Britt was always electric, fueled by shared secrets and undeniable attraction, so her potential return would shake up Port Charles' dynamics. To creatively rephrase and expand, imagine Jason's search leading him to a clandestine lab where Dalton's experiments tie into Britt's disappearance, merging the animal storyline with this personal quest and creating crossover drama. Adding an invented detail, perhaps Jason discovers a locket with Britt's photo during his pursuit, triggering flashbacks to their passionate past, including untold moments of vulnerability that deepen their bond and set the stage for emotional confrontations. As these narratives unfold both on and off the screen, the parallels between Burton's joyful family addition and GH's pet-inclusive plots remind us why the show resonates so deeply. It's all about connection, surprises, and the unexpected ways lives intertwine. Will Wyatt become a social media star in his own right, perhaps guest starring in fun family vlogs? And on GH, could Outback's fate influence Jason's journey, leading to alliances or betrayals that redefine relationships? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, these stories keep us hooked. Stay tuned to ABC General Hospital for more twists, and don't forget to share your thoughts on Steve Burton's new pup or Jason's latest adventure in the comments below. Like and subscribe for all the latest spoilers.